Hello, nice to see you again. Welcome back. What we're going to do in this video is another topical solution for IGCSE and Maths paper. The topic we're looking at is logarithmic and exponential function. The question we are solving is taken from Winter 2013, variant 11, paper 1, variant 1. And the question is question 2, part B. Here we go. Let's take a look at the question. It was given here, function g and h are defined as such, was printed there. Part 1, find inverse of g of x, 2 marks there. And part 2, solve g hx equals to 18, 3 marks. Okay, let's dive into it and take a look how are we moving about solving it. Looking at part 1 first, okay, we are supposed to find the inverse of function gx. Okay, it was given here, gx. There you go. And we're supposed to undo whatever gx has done. Okay, for your convenient learning, I have listed down all the steps that we are taking. The first part, I call that pack up the bulky gx into y. What do I mean by that? Okay, by writing g, open bracket, x, close bracket, there are quite a number of strokes involved there. So I would like to suggest, and we have conveniently do package up this whole thing into one single letter. That is y. Well, we have commonly chosen y as our favorite number, or no, alphabet letter. And then in the first place, why do we need to do that? If you're wondering why. Okay, the simple reason is because along the journey, you will come to one step where you need to change subject. When you want to change subject, you would not want to carry something really bulky. You would prefer to carry just a letter y instead of g, open bracket, x, and close bracket for that reason. All right. Okay, now we move on. The step 2 is interchanging x and y. Okay, why do we need to do that? As you already know, gx and inverse of g is simply means whatever the input of gx eventually will become the output of inverse of the inverse function. And then whatever output of the gx is going to be the input of the inverse. So that for that reason, we're going to interchange the input and output into input. Okay, so for that reason, now the output now we convert into input, and then the input now we convert them into output. Okay, now we come to the step where we are going to change subject, and we're going to change to make y as our subject, because that is going to be our inverse of the function, aka g in apostrophe negative 1x. Okay, now what we're going to do, we just plus 2 at both sides, then we get to this step, and here we divide for both sides, and we conveniently arriving at this stage. Okay, then from this step to this step, it seems there is a jump there. So if you are not familiar about the converting between exponential function to logarithmic function, I'm going to run through a quick revision for you here in this next few second or minute, I hope. Yeah. Okay, converting between exponential function to and fro logarithmic function. Okay, to make it really straightforward, I put in an example of something really familiar to all of us. 2 to the power 3 equals 8, something small number in the same format of exponential. It actually equivalently presented in logarithmic function format as such, log to the base of 2 coming up here. And then the results of the exponential has now become the inside of the log. And then the index of the exponential function has now become the subject. Okay, so spend some time looking into it if you're not familiar, and commence it into your second nature, into your fingertips. It would be really, really beneficial to you. Okay, now this is what we have done. We used whatever skill that we have learned there. So now you notice the index has now become our subject, y. And then the base e has now become our base here, right? And then the result of our exponential has accordingly become the inside of our log. And now we proceed. The notation log base e, we simplify and represented by ln, or sometimes we call them ln. Okay, so now we have got this whole statement, and that actually signify you have done completely your inversing of the function. Okay, but do not stop there, because y is not given in the question. Y comes about because you packaging the gx into y. So remember to unpackage it back and present it back to your examiner. Okay, therefore, I call that unpack back to G. Therefore, from Y, now you just present it this way, package it nicely and submit, and full mark is your. All right, now we proceed to part 2, solving G hx equals to 18. Okay, for your easy viewing, what I have done here is the two function G and H. I put a little gap there in order for you to, if you are not familiar, at least you are able to see that there are two functions, and we call them composite function. Okay, you are not familiar, I'm going to spend the next few minutes to run through what are they about. Okay, let me take out all of these first so that I will explain it nicely to you. Okay, so the composite function g hx is actually involving two processes to come up with one final product, which is the composite products. Okay, we start from the raw material X. Then this raw material is now going into a machine called H. And how is the machine H operating? They operate by ln 5x. Okay, so what we do is, as what we will do here is, this raw materials, now you have put it into the X. So now you have come out, after the process of H, you got the output as ln 5x. Okay, no more X. Okay, now the finished product or the output of H, now the whole lot of it is now going to input into G. Okay, so what you are going to do now is like, okay, whatever that comes out from machine H, you are going to put into G machine. So that results to you that what this whole thing means is actually 4e to the power of ln 5x minus 2. All right, so that's what it is about. Back to the question. Yeah, there we go. So when you're given that, so on the left hand side, what you do is you just write out the composite function and equate it to 18 as was given to you. From here onward, you are going about to solve for x. And for this learning process, I have suggested two options for you. All right, then you can pick and choose which is the one you prefer. On the left-hand side, in order to do the left-hand side's way of solving for x, you need to be familiar with this logarithm rule. where when there is the base of e to the exponential of log base e, you notice that they are inversing each other. They are contradicting each other. Therefore, you are actually going to get back the original input, which is 5x. Okay, then if you're familiar with that, so from this statement, you know, from this statement, I'm going to put in here, from this statement, yes, you will conveniently know that they equal to 5x. So now, from here, you will just expand the bracket to get 20x minus 2 equals to 18 and so on, so on. You know what's happening from there onwards. And if you're not familiar with this one, doesn't matter. What you're going to do is you just gently and nicely be chill and cool and take the journey step by step. Okay, as what I presented to you with the blue ink solution. Okay, you take from here, then you just minus, deal with the minus 2 where you plus it onto both sides, that you get 18 plus 2. Then on the left hand side, the next thing you do is you divide 4 both sides, and then you result with this, and then you left with e to the power ln 5x equals to 5. And then from here, again, something really familiar, what we have just used before, okay, that we are going to convert the exponential format into logarithmic format. Yes, so the index has now become subject. Okay, let me not go ahead of myself. Let me just going to take out the minus here. Okay, so easier for you to look at. Here we go. So the index has now become subject. Okay, and then the log base e, because our base is e, and then the result of the exponential has become the inside. Then from there, you notice that, yes, you have both sides with the loan, no longer have to compare them, cancel them out. You got a simple, short and sweet statement, 5x equals to 5, and you know what to do from there onward. Yes, you're right, x equals to 1. Done. Okay, so congratulations. That's all that you require to score and secure the 5 mark from this equation. Okay, so I hope you really enjoyed the session. Okay, and then so go through them a few times if you're not familiar, and then if you're already familiar, please go and venture into my other solution or teaching videos, and I'm sure you are really going to enjoy a really happy and chill learning process and journey. Okay, all right, so before we end and before we say goodbye, if you haven't subscribed this my channel, please go ahead and subscribe and like the video. I really appreciate that, and even more appreciating if you share them about that, whatever that you have benefited from, share it around, share to your friends, so that all of us together we enjoy the happy learning towards excellence together. Okay, looking forward to see you in the next video. Ciao. Bye.